Welcome to my 209 midpoint video walkthrough. We'll begin by verifying that our code compiles. So we just make, and as you see, it compiles with all the flags on, and it doesn't show any warnings nor errors. Let's begin the program by running myshell. And here is the myshell command line. We first begin by going through some of the basic commands, and the first one is echo. And echo simply spits out, and echo simply prints out whatever string that comes after. So hello world prints out hello world. Next, we will go over variable assignment. var1 is equal to hello, and this is how you assign var1, the variable name var1, to the string hello. To print out the variable name, to print out the variable, we simply call echo on the variable name, preceded by a $. Hello. We can also have multiple variables, such as var2 is equal to world, and we can expand both of these variables in one echo, such as var1 followed by var2, hello world. We could also have another variable containing other variables. What does that mean? So if we have var3 is equal to var1 followed by var2. Oops, sorry, I was not supposed to have a space in between. var3 is equal to var1, var2, and we print out var3. Oops, I am supposed to put that. And as you can see, they both expand to hello world. And finally, if we have variables whose values add up to more than 128 characters, we simply truncate to the first 128, or the first 127, excluding the null terminator. So we'll demonstrate that now. So here I have x1, which contains 100 ones, and x2 that also contains 100 ones. And if we echo x1, x2, we only get the first 127 ones. Feel free to verify by counting the number of ones. Let's go over how this is done in code. Okay. Let's first go over how variables are assigned. So in built-ins.h, we define a struct called variable that has a QR pointer to the name, to the value, and a reference to the next variable. When a new variable is about to be declared, it is passed into def var, and here the pointer to a variable curve is set to vars, which is a global variable also defined here, that contains all the existing variables. It is a linked list of all the variables that are currently being used. Let's first go over the case where the variable value contains another variable, which is covered here. So we first check the value for any $ characters, which could indicate the start of the variable, or of a variable. And every time we do, we copy the variable name to a name buffer, and we simply get the variable name or the variable value for that variable using get var. So in the context of var3's example, it first checks var1, retrieves the value of var1, and puts it into this pointer var val, or the var val points to the first character of the value of var1, which is hello, so just h. And since this pointer is not null, we copy this this value to our final new value buffer, and we update the new value index by the length of the buffer. Otherwise, we simply append the original to the final value buffer. Moving on, we check if the variable name already exists in the linked list of all the variables defined in the current context. We do this by traversing through a linked list and checking if each name matches the name we are looking for. If it does, we simply replace the existing node's value with our new value of new val, and we exit with code 0 as it was successful. Otherwise, we create an actual new variable, and we allocate some memory in the heap for the struct, and some memory in the heap as well for the string's name, the variable name, and the variable value. We then set the pointer of new var to two vars, which is our global variable pointer, and we update vars to point to new var, and therefore new var points to the head of the linked list, which is our newly created variable, and we simply return 0. Let's then go over how variables are expanded when we call echo. So this is also done in built-in.c and in bn echo. So we first have a buffer for the final string that we are going to echo out, and this has a size of 128 characters, including the null terminator, and this helps us truncate our final print value. We first cycle through all of the tokens that are passed in, and we check that if the index of the token is greater than 1, we add a space to accommodate for the fact that we got rid of the space when we tokenize the input using the delimiter space. Next, we check that our current token starts with a $, and if it only contains one $, we simply add the $, character to the final string, and we move on. Otherwise, we have a condition where if the first character is not a variable indicator or a $, we simply skip a section, which we'll cover in a moment. First of all, var tokens is set to surtalk r of token $ buffer, so it contains everything that comes before the first $. So in this case, if token's first character is not a $, It contains everything that comes. Well, it contains the entire token basically. Now, if there is a string before the first variable indicator or the dollar sign, we print that to the final string, and then we move on to print the next. We move on to print the actual variable value to the final string, and we also do some truncations when we do stir and copy, and we make sure that we only copy up until the 128 character limit, as you can see here. And this is how we truncate. And after we are done going through all the tokens, we simply return the string, the final string that is at most 127 characters in length.